Hi guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my October budget. I am so excited. I didn't film one last month and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of missed it. So here we are. But if you haven't watched my October reset routine, go watch that first because I kind of talked about my new money system and approaching money in a bit more of an intuitive manner instead of having the strict categories. So pause this, go watch that, and then come back because it'll make a little bit more sense. And I don't want to like repeat myself in both videos. So yeah, go watch that first. But we're gonna sit down and we are going to budget together today, which is so exciting and so fun. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I was kind of iffy on if I wanted to film this or not, just because I'm not doing the variable expense categories anymore, but I still think it's fun to do, important to share. And a lot of you guys were commenting on my October reset and being like, please tell me there's gonna be a budget video with me this month, because I love having it on in the background while I budget. And yes, there will 100% be one because we're here filming it right now. So I'm really just in the best mood today. I had a good coffee. I think I'm gonna go get a Starbucks after this. Like, I'm just really living my best life today. And yeah, but first thing I want to talk about, which is something I don't talk about often, is my money process. And you guys in my budget just see like the lump sums of everything and not what comes out of what. So I want to share that because I feel like it is a little bit different than when I was just working a full-time job and had no additional income, because my money is coming from varied income sources. And one of you guys actually suggested this. You DM'd me and said like, I think it'd be really interesting to see what you pay with what, because we just see the like lump sum of income. And I was like, that is such a good point. And let me talk about that in my next budget video. So we're gonna do that to start because I think it's really insightful and cool. And you guys know I'm all about pay transparency and salary transparency as a creator. So let's jump into that. I promise it'll be quick. Then we'll get into the budget. But if you want to skip ahead to the budget, I get it. I really do. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is my income sources. So I do have a corporate job, a part-time corporate job, and I make money from YouTube AdSense and brand deals. My YouTube AdSense you guys see on my budgets every month because that's kind of like what I pay myself out of the business, if you will. That money gets divvied up for personal spending, but my brand deal money you guys never see because that, well, sometimes. This month you did in September because sometimes I'll pay myself out that if I want to put extra money towards something. But mainly when I get a brand deal payment, that goes into my business bank account. I don't allocate it into my personal budget or anything because I'm not using it for personal spending. I'm using that to pay off my business credit card with tax write-offs, which also reminds me, a few months ago I filmed a video all about my bank account setup, the credit cards I use, how I differentiate between personal and business spending. So if you haven't watched that, I'll put it down below because I think it's a really insightful video and kind of explains a bit more in detail the different systems that I use. So that's why you don't see my brand deal money, because I don't use it for personal spending. I put all of my write-offs onto a business credit card, and then that is on auto pay every month from my brand deals. Sometimes I'll pay myself out from my business bank account, like a little bonus or something, but most of the time I don't. And yeah, which also leads me to quickly talk about, I get DMs from you guys being like, hey, confused because some of the purchases you show in vlogs don't end up on your budget. And that is because if it's something I've purchased for my business, it's a write-off and I don't include that in my personal budget. I have the exact same budget template. I've copied it to a new spreadsheet and I use it for my business tracking to track my expenses, my mortgage, my internet bill, my phone, my car, etc., because those are all write-offs. And before we talk about write-offs any further, I just want to say, if you are a creator, please look into your like country's revenue agency and see what you can write off, or meet with an accountant. I met with an accountant last year and he basically told me that since social media is so new, as long as you can justify, like if the CRA, which is our revenue agency in Canada, were to say, why did you write off this purchase? As long as you can justify why you needed it for your video, you're good. Which is just what they told me. And I'm still very careful. I don't write off a lot of like sketchy things, but like my desk, my chair that I just bought, my iMac, my iPad, certain trips, etc. are all write-offs. Let's say I'm filming a video with Neo, which you guys know I love their credit card. I usually map out what I'm going to do in the video, and in the video I have to show you guys me using the card to get cash back at certain locations. And so those purchases are sometimes considered a write-off, because let's say I go to the bookstore and I want to show you guys that you get 3% cash back at Indigo, and I buy some books. I probably wouldn't have bought those books today if it wasn't for the video. So I consider those a write-off, which is why sometimes you don't see like personal spending in my budget. That's why sometimes if I'm getting coffee at a coffee shop and I'm staying to work, that's a write-off. If I'm getting lunch somewhere and I stay to work, that's a write-off. If I have a business meeting, if I, that's why my gas is sometimes a little lower on my budgets. It's because if I'm driving to an event, I can clock that mileage and use it to write off part of my gas. So that's why sometimes it doesn't look like what I buy in videos adds up in my personal budget, is because it depends if it's a write-off or not. Same goes for trips. We're taking a trip this weekend. It's a business trip, and whatever, like, because a brand is inviting us to stay at their hotel, anything I do that weekend is a write-off because I'm there for work. Whereas a trip like Disney I write off, or any trip that like I've booked myself but I want to vlog, I typically write off half because I view it as half work, half pleasure. So for Disney, for example, I write off half of our flights, hotels, food. I don't write off any souvenirs. Like I said, I keep it very simple. I don't want to like overuse the system, but I will write off half of those trips. So just wanted to give you guys a quick explanation into like what I write off and what I don't. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was my current money process. So you guys have been with me over the years, and there's tons of old budget with me's if you want to go back on those. But your budget process will change as you evolve. So when I was working during the pandemic, I was working 2 full-time jobs. I was working 60 hours a week. So then I was budgeting my 2 full-time incomes, and then YouTube was extra payments on my student loans. Then when I moved down to 1 full-time job and took a big pay cut, that paycheck with a little bit of YouTube money was used to supplement my income and pay my bills. And now, since I've taken the leap from being a full-time corporate gal to a part-time corporate gal, I have to supplement my income even more because I'm taking that jump and that leap to work for myself part-time. So I have to pay myself out a little bit more, and like my YouTube money can't just like all go into savings now because I'm not working as much at a corporate job. So this is my current money process. This doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. I just want to share kind of like what goes on behind the scenes in my brain of how I pay what with what. Take this with a grain of salt. This is just what works for me and my varied income sources. This might not work for you, like I said, and you might do something different. So I have a $1,000 to $1,500 buffer in my checkings at all times. I used to not be the kind of person that could have money in my checkings, honestly, because I would spend it. But since I've healed to that relationship with money, it's a little bit easier for me to do that now. And that buffer is there for any unexpected purchases, especially with the house. Because Matt and I love to buy things used. Buying things used is great. It's a great way to save money, but you have to pay with money you have. You can't use a credit card and pay it off after. And you never know when you're going to find something. So I like to have that buffer in there. For example, when we bought the fridge, that was like $200 that like I hadn't accounted for in the budget that month. But with a used fridge, you kind of have to jump on it. So I always have a buffer in my account. And then my corporate job, I'm just gonna go crisscross applesauce here for a sec. I get paid $1,100 bi-weekly, and when you see my budget, you will see that my expenses roughly, or like my bills, my fixed expenses, roughly account for like 3/4 of that money. So at the end of the month, let's say I start the month off with $1,500 in my checking, I get paid whatever, the $2,200 in a month for my corporate job. After all of my bills, my checkings account at the end of the month will be back around that $1,500 to $1,600 mark. I might have $100 or $200 extra depending what kind of paycheck month it was, if I worked overtime, etc. But my corporate job just covers my bills. If YouTube were to die tomorrow and leave, I would just go back to working a full-time corporate job and I would rejig my budget. But this is what I'm currently doing. Okay, then comes my AdSense. So I get my AdSense paid on the 21st of every month, and this is something I've recently shifted to, and it's been working really, really great for me. I put all of my variable expenses on a credit card for points, cashback. I always pay it off. So groceries, gas, coffee, eating out, buying things for myself, etc. all goes onto that credit card, and I get paid that amount from YouTube on the 21st/22nd of the month. The first thing I do with that paycheck is pay off my credit card with my variable expenses, and then I will divvy up the rest of the money to savings, investments, sinking funds, debt, whatever I need it for. And that's kind of how I allocate my money. So my corporate paychecks cover the bills, YouTube covers my variable expenses, spending money, savings, and investing. And then sometimes I'll pay myself out a brand deal if I feel like it, if I have something big or whatnot. Like last month, I transferred myself money for my brand deals to pay off our home loan, or to put extra money on it. So that's kind of my budget process. I hope that makes sense, kind of how I use my money and whatnot. And yeah, but let's jump into the actual budget. Enough chatting. Let's go do it. The budget. So like I talked about, my dates are a little bit different now than they were before, because I'm basically tracking my budget from when I pay off my credit. I hope this makes sense. Because I pay my credit card off on the 22nd of every month when I get paid from YouTube, that's like when the new month resets for me. And you guys can see I already started tracking my expenses as of the 23rd of September. It's just what works for me now, okay? I think we should just do what works for us, right? So, corporate pay, my first one, or both of them this month, should be a little higher than usual because I am working additional hours when need be. My business pay, I'm undershooting a little bit because I always like to think it's gonna be less than it is so that I'm not, you know, over budgeting and, you know, saying I'm gonna take home more money than I do. So I put 5,000. A few of my videos did really, really well this month, and I had some bonus uploads. So that always pays off. And we'll get into this in a second. As you guys can see, my expense summary page, I don't have budgeted amounts anymore. That's what I talked about in my October reset, is I am just going to put an overall estimated amount. And we're gonna say, I'm gonna say 1,200, because realistically, like 2 weekends or long weekends out of this month were on vacation. So, and that's already been accounted for in sinking funds. So basically, I don't really care what these categories are as long as I'm around $1,200 at the end of the month. The one thing you guys will notice this month that's lower than usual is groceries. So Matt and I have decided, and this is something I should probably address too, is that like Matt and I don't always split things 50-50. We just split our bills 50-50, but sometimes we'll do like an IOU on groceries. We'll take turns, etc. We do Chef's Plate every week, and I think it's well worth the price. I pay for the Chef's Plate every month, and Matt pays for our like normal groceries like yogurt, eggs, and stuff like that. So anything I am like allocating here for groceries is just anything extra that I bought that's not for us. So I bought some supplies to bake. Stella's dog food is like $50, so this is like really only $30 of groceries. But Matt will be doing most of our grocery purchases this month. And that's why this number will be pretty low, because we've decided that I'll pay for Chef's Plate and he'll pay for the groceries. But yeah, at the end of the month, I just want all of these, or I should say all of these, to add up to around 1,200, give or take. I should probably put it more because, no, I think it should be good. Savings we'll allocate in a second. We'll just kind of see what we're working with here. But let's go to my bills. So mortgage every month is $800. We pay our mortgage bi-weekly, and my half is $400. So our mortgage is actually $1,600 a month for our townhouse, but I pay half of that. Same thing with condo fees. I pay half of the condo fees every month. My phone bill is $40. My gym membership is $80. My car payments are $314. My car insurance is $276, and our utilities are usually around $150 to I'm gonna put $170 because last month it was $190. But we had to pay water, so it should be actually like $150 this month. Okay, investing, I always invest $100. Like that's just an auto deposit every month, but I'll try and do more. And this is where it comes in. And a lot of you guys were actually asking, how do I show when I've taken money out of my savings to pay for something? And this is where I want to show you guys. So I owed some money to the government this month, and that is just because I didn't realize that I pay my HST, which is my like taxes, quarterly now, because I have a business, like I've opened a business number. So they sent me a thing, and basically they just like estimated that this was how much taxes I had to pay in a quarter, which I think I'll get some money back, so I'll have to adjust this. But normally this would be something I pay out of my business account since it's for the business. But long story short, my business bank account is obviously separate from my personal one, and my personal one wasn't signed, or my business one wasn't signed up for as like a registered bank account with the government yet. So it would have taken me longer to like get that set up and paid it off. So I just paid it out of my personal account, and I used money from my emergency fund for that. So whenever I'm taking money out of an emergency fund, savings, or sinking funds, this is how I show for it. So basically I will put wherever it's coming from with the amount I've taken out, and then this will balance each other out. Because look, if I take this out, this just balances this right back to minus 352. So that's how I do that. So that was a really fun little surprise. And yeah, so now this is what we're working with. So let's see what's coming up this month. I'm definitely gonna have to replenish my emergency fund at some point, but we'll kind of figure that out as we go. I want to put some money aside for Christmas presents since I've started doing that. So I'm gonna put $500 in my Christmas fund sinking fund, which I also get asked about this. This is just one giant bank account, and I just keep tabs of like what money is for what. So if I have $700 in there, I have a spreadsheet that will say 500 of that is Christmas presents and 200 of that is like car servicing, let's say. I originally was gonna put more money on a Disney gift card for a trip. I think we should be good since we're only really there for like 2 full days. Kingston, that's already in a sinking fund. Like I have that $700 or whatever I put aside, $700 for that trip. So for example, when I track our Kingston trip, what I'm going to do is just go Kingston trip sinking fund. I'm gonna put 700, and then here I'm going to put Kingston trip 700, and then once again it's going to balance itself back out. So that's how I would do a trip. But we did 500 for Christmas presents. I would like to maybe invest more this month. I would also like to put maybe some more money on the house loan this month. You put $1,000 on the loan this month. Yeah, let's do that. $1,000 maybe. Actually, you know what? I should really replenish my emergency fund. Okay, let's put $1,500 back in my emergency fund just to replenish that off a little bit. And then, I mean, we're still working with a decent amount. I'm gonna leave that for now. I think I'm gonna leave it, and then we'll see kind of where the month takes us. Should I put more money aside? You know what? I'm gonna put more money aside for Disney, honestly, to be on the safe side, only because it's my sister's birthday month, and I know that I am gonna get her something at Disney because she loves Disney. And then I'm gonna go over this expense category one more time and just kind of see in my head like what from these categories I have coming up that would make me want to adjust this. So for example, I know that I'm getting my nails done. Do I have any home improvements? I do want to do a few things this month. I want to finish our like little dresser area off. Let me move this up to $1,500. I think that's smart. Just to give me a little bit of wiggle room, and if I don't spend it, that's okay. And now I have this to work with. So let's leave it at that. And once again, I like to do like maybe a little bit of a mid-month check-in off camera and just kind of see if my money's actually going to go there. So this is what we're going to do for the month. And yeah, I think that's a good way to start. So that is my October budget. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.